Welcome to Awesome Powder Coat Engine Tin Installation. Today we're going to talk about the various combinations of single relief and dual relief crankcases, single port, dual port cylinder heads, and early versus late oil coolers.
Crankcases come in either single relief or dual relief. This is the oil pressure control mechanism. You have a plunger, a spring, and a cap on the end that has a big slot in it. Here you're looking at the bottom of a single relief case. The pulley goes here. The single relief is right here. This is where your plunger and spring and cap go. This is a dual relief case. Again, here's where the pulley is. You got your single relief, and it has a second relief in the back at the flywheel side. This is the two oil coolers. You have the early internal oil cooler and the later doghouse offset oil cooler. The early oil cooler has 6mm bolts and 8mm passages. The later has 8mm bolts and 10mm passages. It is possible to mix and match them on the different year engine cases if you have the right size holes and the right size gaskets. This crankcase is designed for the offset doghouse oil cooler. It has the larger oil passages and the 8mm holes. You can tell the key is the size of these holes. This is an earlier crankcase designed for the internal oil cooler. It has the smaller passages, and it should have the smaller 6mm holes. In this case, someone has drilled these holes out to use the later doghouse oil cooler, which you can do as long as you have the appropriate seals. Here you can see the difference in single port versus dual port cylinder tin. On the left is a single port cylinder tin. Single port meaning it only has a single port for the carburetor. Cylinder tin, it's much smaller opening, fits like that. Dual port cylinder tin has two ports for the matching intake manifold, and the cylinder tin is wider to go to match. Because Volkswagen did such a great job with parts interchangeability, whenever you get an engine, just because it's a single port doesn't mean it has the early internal oil cooler, and just because it has a doghouse oil cooler does not mean it has dual port heads. You really have to take a look at all parts of it to see what it is you have.